Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Shop Thursday. Hey, quick, grab your cup of coffee like I am, okay? Take a big sip of caffeine because we need to stay awake. Yep, stay awake because we're going to be looking at Jeremiah. Yeah, this is the alternate Old Testament reading for this Sunday. And we've been in the book of Jeremiah many times. And here's a little secret. We're going to be in it again for our normal Old Testament reading that we're going to have on Reformation Sunday. So keep that in mind. But here we have a reading that comes right in the midst of what's called the Book of Consolation. We've talked about that before as well. The Book of Consolation is that word of hope that Jeremiah gives in the midst of all the words of death and destruction that you don't want to hear. But these are words of hope, hope for the future. Now, there's a series of 3 oracles in our reading, the 31st chapter, verses 34, or 27 through 34, and 2 of those oracles are covered in this reading. And you know you have one of those oracles when it sounds something like this. The days are coming, declares the Lord. Or the time is coming, says the Lord. Okay? That's when you know, hey, listen up. This is a word from Yahweh that goes through the prophet Jeremiah. And the first one says, hey, the days are coming when I will plant the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the offspring of men and animals. What? You're planting them with the offspring of men and animals? What's going on here? Well, remember, as he mentions in here, he had earlier, he planted and he destroys. He talks about that. And now he's not going to do that anymore. Now he's going to refurbish the land, both in Judah and in Israel. The fathers have, in those days, the people will no longer say, the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. In other words, kids are paying for the sins of the father. No. Instead, get this, everybody, you're going to die on your own accord because of your own fault, not because of your parents or your grandparents. It's going to be your fault this time when you die. Yeah. Everyone will die for his own sin. Whoever eats sour grapes, his own teeth will be set on edge. So now there's this whole idea of personal responsibility entering in. No longer can you blame it on my ancestors. Look what they did. They got us in this horrible mess. No, take some responsibility for yourself now. All right, that's the first oracle. The next one is the really familiar one. The time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their forefathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them, declares the Lord. This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel at that time, declares the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will a man teach his neighbor or a man his brother, saying, know the Lord, because they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their wickedness and will remember their sins no more. Yeah, you see what's happening is things just never really went very well for Israel. And then when it split and became Israel to the north and Judah to the south, still not that great. Oh, there were some pretty good times that they had, but constantly the people would drift away from God, drift away from the worship of Yahweh and worship the false gods and Baal especially. So what God is saying through Jeremiah is, hey, you know what? I'm going to renew this covenant, because really when it says I'm going to make a new covenant, that word new can also be translated renew. So I'm going to renew the covenant. It's not a new covenant altogether. It's the same words. It's the same Torah, right? The same 10 words of God, the same words that Moses spoke to the people. Yeah, it's the same thing. Only now it's going to come in a new way. God is going to write it right on our hearts. Now remember, when the Old Testament talks about coming from your heart and writing something on your heart, It means right in the deepest part of you where your will is located. It's not, as we often picture it, the heart being emotions of love. I even have that on my shirt. See that? Yeah, because you're supposed to live generously, right? Live generously. But no, it's not that kind of heart. It's this kind of heart, really. It's the heart and soul of who you are. I'm going to write my law right there. So when you look at it, no longer is someone going to have to learn about it. You're going to know it. You're going to know it. And yeah, it does put the personal responsibility on you as an individual, but it has consequences, if you want to call it that, or influence within the community as well. Because what it says right here, it goes on to say, let me find it here. I will be their God, they will be my people. See that? It's not, oh, he's going to be my, I will be his God, and I will be her God, and I'll be their God. No, everybody will be my God, and they will be my people. Community, very important to remember that this renewed covenant that's written on our hearts is not only for us as individuals. It's not something that we privatize and it's, hey, just me and God. No, it's me, God, and all the people around me. Yeah, Jeremiah, we're going to see a little bit more about this passage, like I said, in just a couple weeks. So stay tuned. It is coming. God's blessings be with you. Pick up your cups of coffee, finish them off, because you need to stay awake and get out and see the leaves. God's blessings be with you.